Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, January the 15th, presented by Mercury. Hey, we got the usual crowd here today. Tom Ott, Lee Pitts, and Josh Heron are going to spread all the information, give us some insights on how we might be able to catch a few more fish on our favorite bodies of water in our area. We will be right back with what the guys have to say. Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, January the 15th, 2022, presented by Mercury. Time for us to head on up to Lake Guntersville. It's been colder out there, but Tom can give us all the 411. Tom, what's going on Guntersville?
Well, Dano, when you're at the bottom, there's nowhere to go but the top. And that's kind of how fishing has gone so far in 2022. We're at the bottom.
But you haven't reached the bottom yet, right? Haven't reached the bottom yet.
Right. Well, don't say that. But, the fishing's been pretty tough. I found it really tough. We fished a little derby last weekend. And it took 15 pounds to win. And those fish were all caught in one little small area. So, not a lot of big fish. We had one big 7.5 pounder, beautiful Guntersville specimen come in, but it's just been a little tough to find the fish. I think the colder water, some of the conditions that we've had have kind of scattered some things out, but they've also positioned some fish tightly. So I think it's just a matter of being able to get out, find that group of fish right now. We're talking water temps right now in the 47-degree range.
Starting to see that low.
It's gotten that low, yeah. Last week we were in the low 50s, 52 to 49. And it's just continued to plummet. I guess these cold nights have really done a deal to it. But now we're seeing some southerly winds. We've got another front that's coming in at the end of the weekend, and that's just going to keep playing havoc on them. But we're getting some clear water. That water temperature's getting down where that jerk bait's a really good deal. Rattle baits, that's always the thing. But right now, still the producer for everybody seems to be the A-rig. And I know a lot of guys don't like to hear that, but it's just the way it is at this time.
The great thing about the A-rig is not only can you target schools with that, but you can get yourself any species of fish as well. Crappie bite, or you hear anything up there about that?
Oh, the crappie are just still chewing. I think the worse the weather gets, the colder the water gets, the better the crappie like it. They're kind of like sauger. Yep. It's better and better. Guys are catching them from the cobbles on the treetops, you name it. They're just all over the place. We've got a strong crappie population right now. Of course, it's getting a dent.
Well, Tom, as always, man, we appreciate everything, and we will talk to you again soon.
That sounds good, Dano. Y'all be safe out there. Tight lines.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, January the 15th, presented by Mercury. Time for us to connect with Lee Pitts, the crappie king of Weiss Lake. Lee, tell us what's going on up there at Weiss Lake and the crappie bite.
It's a little bit of good news this week. Things are starting to clear up a little bit, getting cleaner. So that's one good thing. And the fish, they hadn't left some of the places that they were when we were having this the fronts coming through. So fish is picking up on the crappie end. They're picking up, catching some fish. Still long line trolling in the back of the creeks. It's been a little tougher on the main river channels that was so much current trying to get that water gone and flushed out. It's just been hard to get a bait in there to them. But the crappie fishing is picking up. Like I said, the water temperature is cold, and they like that. So the crappie are starting to bite a little bit. And really, we've already kicked our spring season off. So we're rolling with it and starting to catch a lot of fish and catching some numbers.
What about the bass bite at Weiss Lake? What are you seeing up there?
Hit or miss. A lot of these guys with the largemouth, they've kind of been shocked a little bit with some of the weather that we've had. Still catching some spots out on the rocky bottoms, the long points, some of the eddy spots. But the largemouth bite has been a little bit slow this week. I think that weather changing's kind of had them. Weiss and Neely Henry is shallow lakes, So I think most of the fishermen, they've adapted to that shallow water bite, and we try to force it on them sometime when they've kind of moved out and holding in some different places. So I think the more things get stable, that bass bite is really going to pick up and get right with us. But I've spent some time down at Neely this week too, so it's been still got some stained water down there. A lot of the water, especially out there on that main channel, I swapped over just trying to get bit. I could grab fish and see fish out there, but on the crappie end of it, I went to a 3/4 ounce weight, just kind of drop shotting an 1/8 ounce Moglo head with some Bobby Garland slab slayers and some baby shad, and caught some fish. But with the numbers that I was seeing down there, I think when things slow down and we get this weather stabilized a little bit, the fish are where they're supposed to be. They're just kind of not really wanting to bite a whole lot right now.
And it looks like I've been seeing some of the reports on some of the forums that the bass bite's improving, some of the, as far as quality goes, maybe not the big numbers, but still shallow around grass and some rocky stuff. It seems like that's turning out. Lee, man, I appreciate everything. As always, you have another good guide trip, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys. Hey, appreciate it.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, January the 15th, presented by Mercury. Time for us to head on down to that lower end of the Coosa River with Josh Herron. We're going to talk about Logan Martin and Lay Lake. Josh, what's going on down there on your end of the neighborhood?
Fast water, man. It's just now starting to slow down, but I mean, it's been averaging 22 to 30,000 cubic feet for about a week straight now, which is
that's a lot of water.
It's pretty swift. So I mean, it's kind of the deal we were talking about before. When you get this water really cools off really fast, current is your friend. It just kind of positions these fish to eat. So I mean, last week we had a really good week at Lay. Didn't really execute that great, but had the potential to have a really good day. But it was kind of the same thing we were talking about. Any of these little eddy seams, anywhere these fish are going to set up on this current to feed, it didn't matter whether it was a spinnerbait or a jig with like a creature bait trailer like a beaver or spicy beaver. It didn't really seem to matter. I mean, the fish were sitting there ready to eat. And what we were talking about before really kind of transpired, where we got a lot of sun through the week, and the afternoon bite really kind of was dictated by largemouth. So fish are still there to be caught. I mean, you can do anything from swim jigs right now in the afternoons to, like I said, half-ounce jigs with a beaver on the back of them, or even going to spinnerbait with something like a little dipper on it. So spots are definitely playing, and largemouth are definitely liking the afternoon sunshine right now.
Are you seeing any crappie anglers out there on the lakes, maybe out there on the channels looking, or are they having to kind of vacate with the current?
Man, I didn't really see any crappie boats this past weekend, and if you did, they were definitely in a creek. They were not on a river. With 22 to 30,000 rolling, there's not going to be a lot of river fishing to be done in general. But that's, like I said, that's slowing down a lot right now, and according on how much rain we get in this forecast, you're either fixing to see it go right back to what it was or a little higher. Their forecast is actually right. Mother Nature will dictate the future. Kind of the same thing we've been fighting all winter long. Big swings.
What kind of water temperatures are you seeing on those bodies of water?
Man, morning started out in that 53-ish range. Afternoons got up to 54 and a half, 55 once you got away from the river. We've had a lot of cold nights this week, so I don't predict anything to really have come up. So we're fixing to start getting in that limbo range where the water is going to hit that 47 to 51, 52, and it's going to stay there until we get some warming trends coming with the spring.
Well, Josh, as always, man, we appreciate it. Thanks so much for the information and the help. We talk to you soon. Well, that'll do it for our Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, January the 15th, 2022, presented by Mercury. Hey, the season's going to be on us before you know. Get your boats in for service before the fishing season starts. Talk to Angela or Misty in the service department and check with Pat for parts. And as always, if you need any tackle, Colin and Jamie in the loft have it for you. Thanks for spending some time with us, and we will talk to you again next week.